Okay, I know what you're thinking, not another heart mold. I promise you this is different. Watch to the end and you'll see how I combine it with glass art. It turns out so pretty. Keep on watching. For this project, I'm using the T-Expert Tabletop Easy Coat resin. It's a very, very thin resin and it's really good for molds and also for glass on glass. Because it's so thin and mixes so easily, it really has very few bubbles. I have a large heart mold that I just go ahead and pour the resin into. And for this project, the bottom of it is actually going to be the top. So I have a whole bunch of flowers that I am using for this, and so I have to assemble it so that the flowers are upside down. I have to actually assemble it backwards. So the flowers go first and then the greenery last, because again, the bottom of the mold is the top. And you really kind of have to think about this when you're doing it, because I think I put some greenery on too soon and then I had to start slipping flowers underneath the greenery because the greenery really needs to go on last. After this had set up overnight, I used the Let's Resin Ocean Waves white epoxy pigment and mixed it in with the resin. And again, this white part here is actually going to be the back of it. So after I mixed it all in, you want it to be opaque. I poured it all over the top and again let it set up overnight. So for the next mold, heart mold that was a little bit smaller, I used the same pigment mixed in resin. And I poured it into the mold. This is actually going to be done the opposite. So the white has all set up overnight, and the white part is going to be the bottom, and the top part is going to be the top this time, just the opposite of what I did with the other one. And after the white had set up overnight, I mixed up some more resin, poured it on top, and carefully assembled the flowers on top, and then put a little bit more resin on top of the flowers. And here I am demolding the small one, and this is so pretty. I love the pink and purple and green. It's just real pretty with the white background. I love it on the white background. It does have some extra resin. I'm going to have to get the deburring tool and go around the edges to get that off. But I just think it turned out really nice. And then the next one is the larger heart, and this also is equally as pretty. And this, like I said, I did backwards where the bottom is the top. And just love that red against the white. I love the white background on a lot of these flowers. Just turned out so pretty. Then I painted a 4x4 canvas green, flipped it over, and put painter's tape along the perimeter of the back. This is to catch the resin drips for easy removal after your item has cured the next morning. And it's in your best interest to remove the tape the next morning as soon as you can. It's easier to take off. And if you have any stubborn tape stuck, just use your heat gun and heat it up a little bit, and it will allow for easy removal. So next I had a 10 by 12 frame that I was kind of impatient about. Normally, to secure the glass in the frame, I use Elmer's glue around the perimeter, under the glass, and on top of the glass. And then I wait overnight before I do anything. But I wanted to finish this project, so I have heard of other people using hot glue to secure it in, so I thought I would try it. But honestly, I ended up having some leaks, and I do not think it looks very pretty from the back. So I don't know if you sell your art and it matters to you what the back of it looks like, but I don't think that looks that great. So anyway, after I put the hot glue on, I took painter's tape and put it around the perimeter of the back as an extra precaution against resin leaks. Now when you pour resin on the other side, that is what permanently secures the glass to the frame. The resin I'm using for this project is Naked Fusion, the original formula. It is a really good coating resin. It's a little bit more difficult to work with than some of the other coating resins. You really have to warm it up. You have to mix it a little bit longer. It does have a lot of bubbles, but if you're using it on a canvas, you just use your torch or your heat gun and the bubbles come right out. T-Expert resin that I used for the molds is really good for molds. It's a super thin resin, but I don't feel like it gives as good of coverage as some of the other coating resins like this Naked Fusion original formula resin. That's why I ended up using 2 different resins for this project. And then for the next one, I just go ahead and pour the resin right onto the glass. And honestly, it's easier to work with if you can possibly get away with pouring the resin on first and then putting the items on after, because it's easier to spread it out. So after I got it all spread out, I did use the kitchen torch to get rid of the bubbles, and then I went ahead and placed the heart in the center. And I do use a toothpick to get any sediment out. I try to get down eye level and look at it, pick it up, try to turn it a little bit, because sometimes you see different things at different angles. And next I have this Ashland decorative filler. It's up at Michael's craft store all the time. It's silver reflective glass. It's very tiny, and I just sprinkled it all around the perimeter of the heart. When I finish a project, I always come back every 15 minutes to check for glass placement, to retorch if I see more bubbles, to look for sediment. Sometimes it seems that the sediment rises to the top if there's something in your project, like a hair or something. You might not see it the first time, and then I get it out with a toothpick. It's in your best interest to read the directions for the resin that you are using, because all resins are different. This particular resin sets best at temperatures between 75 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's in your best interest to cover your project with a dust cover. Hey everyone, so I have seen hundreds of videos with resin art with flowers in it, but I have never seen where they've taken it and put it on glass art like this, on glass, and then surrounded it by glass. So I hope you guys learned something new. I think this is super cute too on the canvas. But I think this one would have looked better if I had put it on glass like this and surrounded it with the crushed glass. I think that is so pretty. And this crushed glass is from Michael's. They have it up there every day of the week. Sometimes it's in different colors, but they always have the silver reflective. And for your information, for those of you who have never done crushed glass art, this crushed glass can be colored very easily, and I have several videos out on how to color the glass, and it's super easy and it still retains its reflective qualities. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like. That really helps the channel. Share it. Subscribe, hit the bell. You'll be notified every time I put out a new video. I try to put at least one new video out every week. Anything from resin art, glass art. Now that Valentine's is over, I have a glass video where I'm teaching you how to cut the glass to make flowers. So keep on watching. I have over 300 videos. Please check them out. And a Facebook group. We have an amazing group over there. All sorts of ideas and help over there as far as glass and resin art goes. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for watching.